So these are the newest headphones from Axel Grell, who you'll probably know if you have an HD800 or an HD... Should we do that again? So these are the newest headphones from Axel Grell, who you may have heard of if you're a fan of the Sennheiser HD600 or HD800. And these have quite a unique design. If you look inside the cup, you can see that the driver itself is not at the back, but instead it's at the front. So this is going to be quite an interesting experience. So those are pretty interesting. Those are a very different experience to any headphone that I've tried before. Looks quite different, as you might expect. And if you've heard the HD800, that actually shares a, well, maybe not so surprising number of similarities with it. The staging is very, very big. It also sounds kind of diffuse in a way which I think maybe might limit how kind of close it can present things. The bass on that is, again, it's quite dynamic sounding for that size of driver. Maybe not the best sub-bass extension though. The one thing that I'm wanting to see hopefully maybe changed a little bit in that is that, like the HD800, there is a little bit of a treble peak there, which was bugging me a little bit. And so hopefully that's something which they can kind of tone down for the final version. But the staging in particular on that unit is very unusual and very impressive. I'm quite looking forward to seeing Axel's talk on how directivity and other non-frequency response elements impact how we perceive sound. After hearing that, I'm definitely going to be heading to that talk.
Yeah, the bass stood out to me as well. It was very spacious, but also impactful. I don't know what the super deep extension was like. Some of the tracks on there weren't ones I was familiar with, but I at least heard one that I knew pretty well. Something else that stood out to me definitely was also a bit of a sharp edge somewhere in the treble, but I think that's something that could be smoothed out, similar to the HD800 has. But the biggest thing for me, aside from the space and the low end, was actually the ergonomics. I quite like how it feels on the head and feels in the hand. I think it's a pretty unique looking headphone as well, but it's also light. It's, not hot on the head. The velour helps. I think they did a pretty good job on the ergonomics. So I'm also really interested to see how this turns out in the final version, but from what I've heard here, it's definitely something really unique, and I'm also looking forward to Axel's talk.